All right. All right. I feel like this one needs to be shouted out and about from above the rafters right now. We got an update on the Jagex accounts and the closed beta as of today, March 30th, recording day. Um, the approximate percentage of eligible accounts now to convert over to this is 50% of RuneScape accounts. 50%
Nice.
of players are now going to be able to use this. And just a quick recap of how this is going to work. They expect to move into open beta in early April. And that means that you'll be able to opt in and start using this. And they're going to talk about it more in the March newsletter that's going to unveil how you can do that. But what happens with this is that this is, in essence, a leveling up of account security that I think in large part probably started with the login lockout and growing those systems that were surrounding that. So the solution is the Jagex accounts, which we talked about before, but as a recap for people who might not be aware, these accounts, they say, allow for increased security and stability, better than what is currently offered on old school RuneScape and RuneScape accounts, in that they use industry standard technology in when it comes to verifying your account, two-factor authentication, and the forms of passwords that can be used. And people might not know this, but your RuneScape password, as it was when you first made your account, could not handle capital letters or symbols on that. So much so that if you entered, say, a $ in your account, the client, when you were entering that, would just treat it as the number 4. So you would think you were entering a $, but in reality, you were just entering letters and numbers. So this is a huge step up in that. And it also makes it so that if you have multiple accounts like we do, you'll only be entering in one email address to log in, and then you'll go to the Jagex launcher, choose which one you want to use, and open it up as you have been doing if you do already use the Jagex launcher. They also got support for the authenticator apps out there like Google Authenticator, and with that, it's actually better than what's out there right now on the RuneScape accounts for authenticator, in that you're actually able to have backup codes. So if you ever lose your authenticator, you won't need to go through customer support to have your authenticator turned off to access your account. All you do is you save your backup code somewhere safe, and then you can log in with those. And as I mentioned, also very robust passwords on this. And the best way to figure out if you have access to this is to go to runescape.com. And once again, we'll say it because, you know, it's a classic thing, getting fished for your RuneScape account. runescape.com, sign in there, click the account button, and you'll know if you're eligible by seeing if you see a banner that says enhance your security with an upgrade button on it. And if you do that, you'll be taken through the process of creating a Jagex account. You'll set up a Jagex username, which is independent of your RuneScape accounts. And then with that, you can migrate that over to the Jagex launcher, and you're good to go after you add your accounts. And you'll just have to enter in your usernames or emails and passwords of your RuneScape accounts one more time, and then you'll have full access to it under your Jagex account. And it's really as simple as that. I feel like this has been a long time coming. And if you have any questions about how this works, we'll have the full links in the show notes to this page at update.show. And with that, the Piers Jagex also has a video on this as well. So, are you guys going to be being an early adopter like I chose to do today?
Definitely. As soon as we finish the show, I'm jumping on to do this.
All right, Tannis.
I think anything that enhances security is a good thing. So,
yeah, especially RuneScape.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to wait, but you guys have kind of talked me into go ahead and pull the trigger now, and it almost feels like Pinocchio becoming a real boy, right? Like because this is not uncommon everywhere else, so this is kind of cool. And I'd already been using it somewhat. I mean, not this, but I was already using the launcher, where you could do, you put in your emails and stuff. But that even, that would get a little tedious when back with fresh start when you were going to one account and then you have to come out and go into the other one. And so this is going to be nice.
Yeah, and I like we said, long time coming. I think probably part of this came out of the login lockout, and with modernizing systems on the login lockout, you start asking the question, okay, well, if we're modernizing it, what can we do on the player side and whatnot? And I think when this officially launches or goes into open beta, they'll definitely have to do some sort of live stream where they got the tech team on from that, because I know you and I really enjoyed watching that live stream where these folks talked about that sort of stuff. I forget how you described the 1J-Mod on that episode.
Oh, I forget too, but yeah, he was something.
Yeah, but
just in before Shane and I, who were just going to adopt it, and Tanis, who wanted to wait just to make sure it was secure. I just want to get in before Tanis gets locked out that it was his own decision. We didn't twist his arm into it.
Right. Yeah. No.
And just to give
it was Shane's power of persuasion.
Yeah, just to give you guys an idea on how this has progressed, on the 14th of March, they said it was 1% of the accounts. A week later, on the 20th, they brought it up to 5%. 3 days later to 15%. 4 days after that to 25%. And another 3 days after that up to 50%. So what that tells me from looking at this is they have internal metrics in terms of how the accounts are being created, and if there's any sort of issues with the systems behind the scenes, if they're getting any sort of bug reports on that in terms of the volume, and if they're not, that's what in effect gives them the green light to open it up to more and more players. That's my feeling on how this goes.
Yeah, it's been running for 2 weeks, and they've gone, as you said, from basically the 1% up to 50%. I think it's pretty safe.
Yeah. And I mean, at some point, I feel like everybody's going to be moved over to this regardless, and it'll be kind of like that process that it took however long. I think it was when did they kill Java? Was that December 2019? I think. I feel like it.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. I think it was around then.
I feel like that's going to be the same kind of thing that we're going to be on to this, where you're going to have these very few skeptical holdouts out there. But nonetheless, I don't think this is anything we have to be afraid of. So I'd say if you feel I'd say if you feel like you're an early adopter, go for it now. But if not, wait till open beta and then definitely do it once release comes, depending on how you feel. That would be my advice to everybody out there.